I do wonder what you're hearing from your sources on the ground about the state of women in Afghanistan right now.
Right now, I think, one young woman wrote me and said, we just feel fear and we don't know what happens when we get a knock on the door. You have to remember, this country is 2/3 under 25. So many of the young women who are, I've had the privilege of speaking with across the country, right? They never lived under the Taliban. They have no idea what those rules are like to live under. They know what their aunts told them. They know what their mothers potentially told them. And so there is only the unknown as girls who really dreamed of being teachers, some who dreamed of becoming engineers, like the ones in your neighborhood, the ones in your family, face something they really aren't sure of ahead.
Malala Yousafzai, the Nobel Peace Prize winner, who was attacked by the Taliban as a child, has urged for more protection for women, for minorities, for human rights advocates in Afghanistan right now. Do you believe it is too late to intervene? Is it ever too late?
It's never too late. I mean, the first book I had the privilege of writing, I actually finished while I was just after business school. And it was about a young entrepreneur whose business supported her family under the Taliban. Young women who turned to business because the Taliban took away almost every other option they had. Women will always find a way. It is their superpower. The question is, doesn't the world benefit when you have the talents of everyone? And so now the question is, how do we get to safety the women who stood with NATO, stood with the U.S., came to Washington to receive awards? How do we support them? And how to create space for the women and girls who remain behind to live under a regime they have never imagined living under, they can't even really fathom right now. If you think Herat University is 51% female, imagine those college students now.
I guess the question then tonight is whether or not women in that region can ever succeed without some sort of deep U.S. involvement. Is that world possible?
Listen, they are doing it for themselves. If you remember last time around, all these young women who became entrepreneurs, who managed to run schools, who actually, I met one young woman in the 90s who actually taught Microsoft Office at a hospital in Kabul. So they managed, whether the world remembers them or not. The question is, will the world help the people who are our greatest allies in security and stability, right? I mean, I talked to one young woman whose SAT prep center, the equivalent of, was blown up by what must have been ISIS. We don't really know, one armed group or another. And she ended up on to get the highest score in the college admissions test that year of 170,000 students. I mean, you talk to all those young people and you think, we need that as a world. You talk about the global economy every day. We don't have talent to waste. So it's up to the world whether it taps into the talent of young women who are contributing every day and seek only to go to school and to contribute to their economy.
Gail, thank you for sharing that with us tonight. It's much appreciated.